Students,
Good afternoon, sir.
today we are going to learn what we have on the board and what is the topic on the board.
Telling the time.
Again.
Telling the time.
So today we are going to learn how to tell the time. Telling the time is now an issue with high school students. Even today, if you meet even university students, I bet you, if you go to a class of 100, you may find out that more than 50 don't know how to tell the time. They say things like 8:40, 11:50, 8:20, but that is not how to tell the time. It's good students know how to tell the time. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to tell
The time.
So we have two types of clock. We have, like one on my hand, this is called the analog clock. Say analog clock.
Analog clock.
So the analog clock is the first clock that came before the second type of clock, which we call the digital
Clock.
The digital clock is seen in your computer, your phones, most of your digital devices. They represent the clock using the digital format. While the normal clocks you have in your sitting room, you're on the street, in your churches, on their walls, mostly will be the analog clock. The issue is that recently, the time we use on our phones, our wristwatches, they are mostly what? Digital. But the principles by which the time is told is from the analog clock. So most of you did not really meet the analog clock when it was like your wristwatch would have this kind of face. Only few wristwatch, and it will be for those that are, let me say, above 50 years or even 40. I'll use this kind of, most young persons don't use this kind of wristwatch with this kind of face. Most of their wristwatches, they even have the digital format because many things are now in their digital formats. So, since most students use the digital clock or pieces in their digital format, they find it difficult to tell the time. So that is why we are making this video in vunhighschoolmaths to help high school students, secondary school students, primary or basic school students, even university school students, even those that have left the university but you don't know how to tell the time, but you've come across this video. This is your opportunity to learn how to tell the time. At least you save yourself from the disgrace where somebody will join. Some of these content creators, they can just walk up to you and say, what is the time? And they will put something like this, it says 8:40, and somebody will start laughing at you. It's good to learn how to tell the time. So this video is for everyone, irrespective of your age. You don't know how to tell the time. This video is for you. I'm going to teach you in a very simplified manner so that you will easily learn how to tell the time. So we have the analog clock. We are going to start with this analog clock before the digital clock because this one came before this. And the principles of telling time is from the analog clock. So when we are done with the analog clock, we now introduce the digital clock to you. Then with this principle, we'll now tell you how you can tally it with the digital format and always tell the time correctly with your digital clock. So the analog clock has three hands. The standard analog clock, you will see this short thick hand, you will see the long thick hand, and you see the long tiny hand. The long tiny hand is called the second hand. Say the second hand.
The second hand.
The long tiny hand is called what?
The second hand.
Now, let's start from the short hand, thick hand is called the hour hand, and the long thick hand is called what?
The minute hand.
We have it on the board. Your hour hand, your minute hand, and your second hand. This second is not second. It's second. Just you can see these ones. They are all without S. So it's not like your second hand. No, it's for second. You have your second hand. So, but there are some analog clock, due to mature designs, they will not put this second hand. They only put two hands there, the minute hand and the hour hand. That is the only hand they will put. You understand?
Yes,
now,
sir.
there are more mature analog timepiece. They will only put the hour hand. Even they will not put all these numbers. And only the hour hand is there. So some parents will just say the analog has two hands. No, it has three hands. The hour, the minute, and the second hand. Just that based on maturity and design, somebody can start, but the hand you can never remove is the hour hand. With my level of maturity, if I see a timepiece with only the hour hand, I will be able to tell the time. Some person will just even you don't need the second hand to tell the time. You need just the minute hand and the hour hand to tell the time. Now, the second hand is always there, especially for the standard, so that at least you know where this time started. Because the smallest unit of time in any clock remains the second. Do you understand?
Yes.
So seconds remains the smallest unit of what? Time. So it's good when we are telling the time, we know where it started. Anything starts from the second what? Hand. So let's start. Now you have this. This is your timepiece. The small hand. If you have come across your normal clock, you find out that the small hand ticks. You see it ticking, ting, ting, ting. That tiny hand will start ticking. Every tick is a second. What did I say?
Every tick is a second.
Again.
Every tick is a second.
In the digital timepiece, is like a blink. The digital, you will see this semicolon blinking. Every blink is what?
A second.
To blink. So every blink is what?
A second.
So the digital timepiece will blink, while the analog timepiece will
tick.
So every tick is a second. So let's say the ticking will start from 12. If you look at this place, you will see 5 in between 12 and 1. You will see 5 little lines. They are like ticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each time it ticks, it covers this little demarcation or calibration there. It ticks again, it goes to the next one, ticks again. So from 12 to 1, this second hand will tick 5 times. Tick, 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 5. So that is 5 seconds. So from 1 to 2, it will tick another 5. That means from 12 to 2, it has ticked how many? 10. So up to 3, it has ticked how many? 15. Up to 4, it has ticked how many?
20.
Up to 5, it has ticked how many?
25.
Up to 6.
30.
7.
35.
8.
40.
9.
45.
10.
50.
11.
55.
Back to 12.
60.
So we say 60 seconds makes 1
minute.
So when this second hand goes 60, tick, 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 60 from 12 to 12. This minute hand, let's say we started from 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock when the short hand is pointing at 10 and the long hand is pointing at 12. And we are going to teach you all that. But this is 10 o'clock. Now, this second hand will tick 60 seconds from this 12, tick, 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 back to 12. Then this minute hand will just move from that tick, you see a tick calibration there, it will just move 1 to the next one. Then this second hand will move again, another 60. Then this minute hand will move to the next one. So we have 60 seconds. 60 seconds makes what? 1 minute. 60 seconds. So if you are doing your math now, that means another 60 seconds we now have what? 120 seconds. It will make what? 2 minutes. It will go another 60 again, we'll have 180 seconds. We'll make how many? 3 minutes. Are you listening? Yes. So, as it keeps going, until 5 times, you now have 5 minutes. But this is what we really pick at this point. We'll use this to solve other, when we talk about the time conversion and all that. But we are just in telling what? The time. So now, you now know that for the minute hands to move one, to have a minute, the second hand must have moved how many times? Must have done how many ticks? 60 ticks, that's 60 seconds. Now, we are done with the second hand moving around and the minute hand moving. Now, the minute hand will also move. And we remember that in every move, the second hand must have moved round, the minute hand will move. Then when this minute hand reaches this 5, you see the hour hand has started leaving 10. And later, but it may not be noticed. But if you look at it very well, it has started leaving this 10 mark here. This is called, it is from this minute movement that we can start telling, at the minute movement, we can start telling what? The time. Like at this point, we say 5 minutes past 10. 5 minutes past 10. It was 10 o'clock, 5 minutes past 10. If this minute hand moves again to 2, we have 10 minutes past 10. You can see this hand is going up. It moves to this place. We have how many minutes past 10?
15 minutes past 10.
This is 15 minutes past
10.
But it has a special name which I will introduce to you later. It's called quarter past 10. But let's leave that quarter now. Let us know the principles of telling time. Then we'll start telling you this is this and this is what that. So let's leave the quarter issue so that we don't get what? Confused. So this is 15 minutes past 10. So if it moves again to this, we have what?
20 minutes past 10.
Now we can still have in between 20 and 25. If it moves just like this, this is 21 minutes past 10, 22 minutes past 10, 23 minutes, just the ticks. So it's not only 20, 25, 30. In between 25 and 30, we can have 26 minutes past, 27 minutes past, 28 minutes past, 29 minutes past, and 30 minutes past. So at this point we have 10, that is 6, 5, 5, 5, that is 5 times 6. We have 30 minutes past 10. This 30 minutes past 10 also has a special name which we will come to. It's called half past 10. But let's leave their special names. Now, when you move after 6, which we call which is like the half of the clock, when you go further, it is no longer called pass. Although normally here it's like 35 minutes past, but now we use the word 2 because it's now moving towards 11. If you look at this hour hand now, you see that it is getting closer to 11 than what 10. We started from what 10. Now it's getting closer to what 11. When it is at 6, that is half the movement. We find out that this hour hand will be just between 10 and 11. The moment it moves into this line, the hour hand is now closer to 11. That means it is now moving to 11. So at this point now, you have to do like a minus. Now instead of you to say 35 minutes to 11, we change it to how many minutes to 11? It now do 1, 5, no, start from here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So we don't say 35 minutes past 10. Rather, we say 25 minutes to 11. We say 25 minutes to 11. So how do we get the 25? We do 60 because the whole is 60. This mark from 12, this little mark back to this mark is 60. So we do 60 minus 35. It will give you what? 25. We are going to do some drawings on the board to help you. So this is like 35. This is 40. This is 45. But later we'll put it in there. This 45 means 15. But I just want to show you something. This 50, this 55, and this is what? 60. So from this 12, the minutes is 60. Forget about the past and the to now. This 5 minutes, and minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So we say, and you can see the hour hand has moved from 10 to what? 11. That is just 1 hour past. So we say 60 minutes makes 1 hour. 60 minutes makes 1 hour. Now, let's look at the board. Let us summarize some principles. That's why I told you that the principles of telling the time is gotten from the analog clock, not the digital clock. That's why we must introduce you to this analog clock and how to tell the time. In this now, whenever you have your digital clock, which you always have, you can now tell the time correctly. So now we are just going to summarize the principles of telling the time. Then we start taking it one after the other. We start with o'clock, make you master what we mean when we say 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Then you learn how to call them. Because one is this is 3 o'clock, you should also learn how to draw them. Then after that, we now go to pass, learn how to do that, we now go to do, take it one after the other. after this video, if it is getting too lengthy, you can cut it and have subsequent videos for subsequent lessons so that you all understand. So if we look at this now, this is 3 o'clock. When you talk about 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you know your normal time, right?
Yes.
Now, the easiest to tell is the o'clock. For instance, 11 o'clock. After another 1 hour, you have 12 o'clock. 1 hour means this minute and this long hand must have moved from 12 back to 12. At that point, this hour hand, this is 3 o'clock, will move from 3 to what? 4. So now, if we take our, so what I have on the board there is 3 o'clock. Now this is what I have on the board, 3 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
The long hand is pointing at 12 and the short hand is pointing at 3. How many of you know 3? How many of you have heard about 3 o'clock? 4 o'clock. Some of you go to church at 6, evening service at what? 6 o'clock. Some of your morning services are 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock. You go to school by 7 o'clock. Do you understand?
Yes.
So at that, if you want to, at that point, the long hand must point what? 12. The minute hand, it will be at 12. While the short hand will be pointing directly at that number. If it is 5, it is 5 o'clock. If it is 4, it is 4 o'clock. At this point, the long hand is pointing at 12, and the short hand is pointing at 3. So this is 3 o'clock. Now, as the second hand moves, that is how the minute hand will also move. So if it has moved now, this is 5 it's now, this hour hand is now leading 3. This is 5 minutes what? Pass. It moves again. This is what?
10 minutes past 3.
It moves again. This is what?
15 minutes past 3.
It moves again.
20 minutes past 3.
It moves again. What do we have?
25 minutes past 3.
It moves again. What do we have?
30 minutes past 3.
Then it moves again. What do we have?
25 minutes to 4.
25 minutes to 4. So at this point, it's supposed to be 35 minutes past. But we don't say 35 minutes past. Anything at this mark, the clock is like divided into 2 equal halves. This side is called what? We use pass. Then after this middle, this 6 or 30 minutes, the moment you pass 6, we now talk about what? 2. Even at this point, the moment it passes 6, we talk about what? 2. So here it's not 35 minutes past, but 25 minutes to. Then if it moves again, we don't say 40 minutes past, but we say what?
20 minutes to 4.
It moves again to 9. We don't say 45 minutes past, but what? 15 minutes to 4. Then moves again 10 minutes to 4. 5 minutes to 4. That is 10 minutes to 4. 5 minutes to 4. That is now 11. Then when it moves to 4, you can see this one is now pointing at 4. This is now pointing at what? 4. at this point there is no pass or to. Do you understand?
Yes.
We now say 4 o'clock. What do we say?
4 o'clock.
Again?
4 o'clock.
So that is why we have our o'clock. At our o'clock, there is no pass, there is no to. So we have what we say 4
O'clock.
So this thing will move again. So let's make another illustration. Okay, we shall reconvene after 30 minutes. Thank you. God bless you.